My name is Mikael Simpson. I am the owner and CEO for Success on the Spectrum in Spring, Texas. I am a veteran. I served 6 years in the United States Navy from 1994 to 2000. So I'm a sailor at heart. I was initially in a helo squadron in Barbers Point, Hawaii. I had it so horrible. I know I was living in Hawaii for 3 years. But I started at the helo squadron, and then I went on to be on the ship at the USS Yorktown. The reasons why individual veterans join the military sometimes are personal, and sometimes they are specific to that individual. But I do think that we all have some things in common. We all believe in the country that we live in. We all want to leave it better than we found it. And so I think that drive of wanting to improve something, that's one thing that we have in common. And if we take that drive and that thought process to a company, I'm going to leave it better than I found it, then those are the things that make veterans strong, that make companies strong. And I think that that's attractive to a lot of employers. After I got out of the Navy, the transition back to the community was a little bit of a challenge. It took a little time for me to figure out what I wanted to do. And so I did some volunteering. I volunteered at a hand therapy clinic. I did some credentialing, and I eventually found occupational therapy. So I'm an occupational therapist as well. I went to University of Texas Medical Branch in Galveston. And so then I started my career as a therapist. But I eventually wanted to figure out what could I do for myself. And so that led me to this search, and that's how I found Success on the Spectrum. When I was looking for opportunities to open a business, I looked at everything. My wife and I looked at food franchises. We looked at literally UPS stores. There's probably not too many things that I didn't look at. And so I just knew I liked to help people. I knew that that's something that brought me joy, so I knew I wanted to do something in that arena. And the fact that I was an occupational therapist and I got the opportunity to work with kids and adults with autism as a therapist, it was a natural fit. I went to the Franchise Expo. I actually passed by the booth twice, but I kept getting the pull back to take a look at it. And then once I actually listened, I was very interested in it, and I learned a little bit more. And the more I peeled back the layers, the more interested I became. And so, 1 year later, here we are. There were several things about Success on the Spectrum that led me here. The process of, vetting, is this the company for me? Does my beliefs align with the beliefs of the company? And so for me, it was several things, including the fact that it was a franchise that was attractive to me, because somebody had already went through the process and mastered all of the different features, would have saved me so much time and heartache trying to figure it out myself. So for me, the franchise model was attractive because, I know that someone has already done all the work. They've already went through the hardships. They figured out all the kinks. And so while I could do that, I felt that it would get me there faster. And so as I peeled back the layers of what that looked like, I had conversations with the owner, Nicole. I had conversations with her leadership group. I felt more comfortable as I peeled back the layers because there was an answer for all of my questions. And I could tell that the level of detail that she went through to figure this thing out was personal to her. I had comfort in that. And so that was one of the main reasons in the end why, when you're looking down to your top two choices, which one do you go with? I chose Success on the Spectrum for that reason. I think the reason why veterans are attractive to any business, any opportunity, is because if I use me as an example, I joined the military when I was 18, and it gave me the opportunity to grow up. And so many veterans learn discipline, they learn work ethic while in the military. We're going to be on time, we're going to be there until the job is done. And so if you take that same mentality and that same drive, that same work ethic, and you put it in any company, it's going to excel with time. And so for all the veterans that are thinking about what's next, for all the veterans that are thinking about, is this a good opportunity? I will wholeheartedly say yes. That same work ethic, that same drive that makes you great will make this company great. That same drive that makes you strong will make the company strong. And so I would encourage anyone to take a deeper look and try to figure out if this is something that's a good fit for you personally. And if it is, and you like to help people and you want to see, You actually want to see kids grow up to be productive members of society. This is something that will give you personal gratitude. It is something that will also help the community and allow you to give back and enjoy what you're doing. I enjoy what I do. If I had to pick one thing that I enjoy most about this business, it would be people. It would be the kids. It would be the progress that you see. It would be the advancement and the enhancement of a kid's life, a parent's life, to make it easier for them to have the tools they need to be able to manage a kid with autism. To see parents improve the ability to care for their kids is my apex. It's what brings me joy. That's the one thing that I would say gets me most. I've been in leadership, and many of your veterans will have experience leading people. Many of your veterans will have experience communicating. The plus in this center is that you get a lot of that. You will use every bit of those leadership skills to figure out and to grow your team. You will use those leadership skills to figure out how to improve processes, to communicate, to talk with families about why your center is better than the next. All the skills that you have honed in and improved as a veteran, you're going to use them to be able to make your center great, to keep your center full, to improve the lives of the families that entrust their child with you. I mean, they literally are entrusting their kids with you, and not just an able-bodied kid, a kid that has problems communicate, and trusting that we're going to do what we should do to make them better and to get them back to their family every single day when they come pick them up at 4 o'clock. And that's important work. Some veterans are lucky. Some veterans get out and there is opportunity for them to be able to reintegrate back into community. Others struggle a little bit, and sometimes we struggle because of personal experiences. Sometimes we struggle because of the things that we had to do while in the military. For many reasons, whatever the struggle is, there is an opportunity to improve that transition. And so for any veteran listening to this or thinking about what's next or should I do this, if it's an opportunity for you to be able to give back, 'cause that's what it's all about, right? If this is an opportunity that you're thinking about, I would say strongly consider it. Vet it, do your homework. And if at the end of the day, your personal beliefs align with the beliefs of this company, then I would suggest you take that leap of faith. Because that leap of faith is hard, whether it's financial reasons that are holding you back, whether it's personal reasons, whether it's personal fights. I know that transition is hard. And so I love the fact that there are veteran-specific opportunities, or whether it's to own your own franchise. I love these types of forums because they're specifically thinking about us and the fact that we have those skills that are transferable, that you can take from one situation in the military and actually be able to use it in a business. I would just say that my fight would be for that transition. That's the one thing that I take personal, because it took a while for me to figure it out. I was lost for a little while trying to figure out what's next, what do I do? I've had this one job for 6 years, now I'm out and I've missed 6 years, so I don't have that specific experience, whether it was in school or whether it was working on the job. These skills are transferable if people and companies are open to looking for that veteran. I lived the transition. And sometimes it breaks my heart when you drive down the street and you see a veteran that was not able to make that transition. And so for me, thinking about, is there anything that I can do or say to help the next veteran that will be facing the same decisions that I had to face on what's next? Because that was a huge question. What do I do now? And so whether you're getting out of the military voluntarily, involuntarily, whether you've been in 1 year or 20 years, the transition typically is the same. Every day. Every day we see them, and it drives me crazy. Whether they are asking for help, whether they are on the side of the road, it's always a hard one for me. Because there was a point in time where I was able to sleep at night because they were standing watch. If I could rewind time and I could do it all over again, if I could re-look at every last opportunity that was available to me, would I do it all over again? Absolutely. I would hands down go through every single step, hard, easy. I would do it all over again because it is exactly what I thought it would be. This business opportunity has given me the ability to take care of my family. This business opportunity is one for me personally that I view as my apex. This is where I am going to end, and this is where I will be able to give back to the community. It will make me feel good. It will bring me joy, and I hope that throughout the process that all of our kids, all of our moms, all of our dads will learn something, and they will view it the exact same way. It will give them the same joy that it is bringing me.